This is an analysis of the Levendary Cafe case. For our agenda, we will begin by providing a brief overview of the Levendary Cafe case, then what Mia Foster should do about Louis Chen, what it takes to be successful in the restaurant franchising business, what challenges might be faced by a U.S. firm that is engaging in business in China, the implications that this will have for Levendary, and ways to manage its international operations to be successful in a new industry, the ways that the Chinese market and Levendary's planned expansion go hand in hand. That will be discussed through goals and objectives of Levendary. And lastly, we'll provide recommendations for what we think Mia Foster should do at the issue at the end of the case. Thank you, and enjoy our analysis of the Levendary Cafe case.
Levendary Cafe is a quick casual, multi-unit restaurant chain. The restaurant specializes in soups, salads, and sandwiches, appealing to consumers through moderately priced selections and regional menu items. Levendary has over 3,500 locations, mostly in the domestic market. The company as a whole made over $10 billion in revenue in 2010. Levendary was founded by Howard Leventhal, the former CEO. After going public in 2011, Leventhal stepped down as CEO to move on to other ventures. Mia Foster was hired to step in as the new CEO. Seeing a potential to expand internationally and avoid a stagnating market in the U.S., Leventhal hired Louis Chen before he stepped down. Chen was an entrepreneur who was given full control to set up Levendary's Chinese operations. Chen set up 23 new locations in the country using his connections and knowledge of the Chinese market. As Foster took over as CEO, concerns were raised with how Chen was running the Chinese operation. He had little oversight and did not stick to the concept that led Levendary to success in the United States. As a result, Foster and Chen butted heads, and a decision has to be made about what to do with the Chinese market going forward.
What does it take to be successful in the franchising business? In order to be successful in the restaurant franchising business, a company must follow a few key guidelines. First, it is crucial to have a full understanding of the market that a company would like to enter. The company must understand the consumer behavior of local people, as well as the location's cultural and religious practices. These elements are highly complex and require serious knowledge and insight. Therefore, it is strongly recommended to hire someone who is familiar with the location to lead the foreign office. It would be extremely beneficial to hire someone who could speak the local language, as well as someone who is familiar with the local neighborhoods. These assets will be particularly helpful when determining store locations and will speed up the process of permitting, incorporating, and staffing stores. Once a foreign office leader is hired, it is important for a company to choose a mode of entry into the foreign market. A company can either change their entire menu while maintaining the same look and feel, or a company can maintain a universal and standardized approach. It is imperative for a company to choose one of these modes of entry in order to have a focused and strategic plan. After a particular mode of entry is determined, it is important that the corporate office maintains a healthy relationship with the foreign office. Both office locations must work together to share information and resources in order to have their strategic plan carried out efficiently and effectively. Although both locations need to work together, it is also vital to allow the foreign office some freedom to make necessary decisions that work for the new market. These employees working in the foreign office understand the new market the best, and they should be trusted to make appropriate decisions that might have benefit on the foreign market expansion. This being said, there must be guidelines to ensure the new venture does not lose sight of the strategic plan. Lastly, it is important to protect the integrity of a company's reporting structure. Once a company enters a foreign market, it is necessary to formalize the reporting process. An international financial analyst should be hired to manage the company's finances abroad. Although this might be expensive, adapting to foreign management and financial reports to fit a company's particular reporting format is not a sustainable practice if revenues are significant. What are the challenges faced by a U.S. firm doing business in China? In the United States, Levendary Cafe is a quick, casual restaurant serving soups, salads, and sandwiches. The cafe distinguishes itself with high-quality ingredients and commitment to service. Upon entering into the Chinese market, Levendary Cafe has lost its brand focus. The first store conformed to Levendary's design standard and menu selections. Other locations held alarming changes. This poses a major problem for successful entry into the Chinese market because Levendary Cafe's concept and image can be ruined. The expansion abroad included horizontal investments in two foreign markets, Dubai and China. This contrasts with the expansion strategy of Levendary's main competitors, who both started their successful international expansion in Canada, which is McDonald's and Pizza Hut. The unorthodox decision to instead continue international expansion in China is justified by the country's rapidly expanding economy, had enabled a boom of consumers in Levendary's potential main consumer group in China, and an unprecedented growth in the food industry. Although expansion into a foreign market country, an unknown market like China, brings about many challenges in itself, we believe that the breakdown of communication is what became the main challenge to overcome.
Levendary has a few implications that will happen from expanding into a new market. Through this, they must adapt to their environment. Levendary needs to adapt to the environment and make necessary changes to win market share. There are two important aspects: maintaining the brand image and successfully expanding and adjusting to the Chinese market. The standard model must change due to consumer taste, differing in various areas of the world. Many items on the menu were changed. Some examples of this included changes in soups. Chicken and veggie soup were added, while cheese soup was removed. To maintain their reputation, the company must have their headquarters be fully involved in this expansion. This includes having constant communication with Chen, who runs the operations, although he has some different viewpoints than the leaders in the American branches. In addition, being in a new demographic will change certain aspects of the company. Levendary must keep in mind the implications and the two main points: to adapt to the environment while maintaining the brand image. In China, there has been room for expansion. Many companies have done well. However, there are also companies that have failed. There's threat to new entry due to the cost being low. The Chinese market has been growing very fast, along with the population. To stay in line with the plan for the Chinese government, Levendary will target a higher volume in China rather than a higher margin similar to their U.S. branch. This could be correlated to the high population there. The company needs to research the market and select a specific target market to stay focused and be successful and continue to have business and grow the company. Adaptation of the company would stay in line with the plan of the Chinese government. Important things for the company to keep in mind to be successful are cost structure, gross margin, and controlling their costs.
Our group recommends that Levendary create a strategic plan to adhere to going forward in the Chinese expansion. We suggest the company create specific objectives for the expansion so it is clear what the expectations are of Chen. This increase in oversight will make it clear what Chen needs to do in his role. In creating the plan, the company would be wise to use Chen's knowledge about the Chinese market. He would know better more than most of the other executives what products and restaurant design would be most successful in China. Utilizing his knowledge would ensure that the strategic plan includes the best strategy for long-term success in the region. We also suggest that Foster and Chen have a frequent communication to keep everyone informed on the situation. This would solve the issue of Chen being given free rein over the expansion while still maintaining his authority over the project. It would also keep corporate in the loop as to what is happening so the situation doesn't arise again. Lastly, we suggest that Levendary invest in training for the Chinese staff to teach them the proper financial reporting required by GAAP. While this training will take time, it is important that this training takes place so financial information is not misrepresented by accident.
Thank you. We will now take any questions posted via the Blackboard page or directly emailed to any one of our group members. Thank you for your time and space and for listening to us.